This is News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween. We are eagerly awaiting our trick-or-treaters to come here to the studio. But I hope everybody's packing a lot of bobby pins.
Hairspray.
Hairspray.
It's windy.
Maybe a scarf and a jacket. It's windy and chilly outside.
Yeah. Alex, will it be kind of the weather that ruins a Halloween costume?
Oh,
where you have to put the coats over things?
No. You're just going to have to hold on to the costume a little bit. I like the idea of the bobby pins. You're going to need a jacket. And I can't get over just the past couple days. I've been sweating out here in the patio. And now I got a winter jacket on. And it is roaring with the winds. As we said, it would be a windy evening tonight, but the rain at least has stopped. Radar 3000, there won't be any rain this evening across southern Wisconsin, so that's a plus. You won't get wet. You'll just have to hold on to that costume very, very closely. We had 1, 2, 3, some areas receiving 4, 5, even isolated 6-inch amounts of rain from Madison and points to the northwest. So we were right on the money with our projection of rainfall. Right now, the temperature is 48 in Madison. That west wind at 9, well, the gusts are a lot higher than that. We've got wind gusts 20, 30 miles per hour. Sometimes, there we go, behind me, up to 40 miles per hour across southern Wisconsin, and it will stay breezy all night tonight. Temperatures falling through the 40s. Now, the next part of our weather story, when will the winds ease up? And when will the next batch of rain happen? I'll let you know in a couple minutes. I'm going to fly into the studio here now.
Well, when you just said, oh, there we go, I thought maybe one of the pumpkins blew over on the weather patio.
No, all the decorations are holding on for dear life out here.
All right, Alex, we'll check back in a little bit. Thank you. First at 4. We are in the home stretch now for Election Day, and the campaign visits are in full effect, especially here in Wisconsin.
42nd President of the U.S., Bill Clinton, is in Milwaukee to talk with voters this afternoon. Our Meryl Hubbard is live out there right now to tell us Clinton's role in this campaign. Hey, Meryl.
Hey, Brady and Susan. It's really no coincidence that Bill Clinton will be speaking at this community center here today. Now, Bill Clinton's role in the Harris campaign trail is to engage faith-based voters and people in the Black community. You can see that we are at the Institute for the Preservation of African American Music and Arts. This is a church or center that celebrates the Black community here in Milwaukee. Now, if we take a look into some history, this is a demographic that Clinton has a connection with through his own campaigning back in the early 1990s. During this time, he was the governor of Arkansas, and he rallied support from Black voters in the state. I spoke with a UW-Milwaukee political science expert to learn more about how Clinton's history lines up with the campaign efforts we are seeing today.
So when he ran for president, he had a certain credibility that he could be a Democratic nominee who would appeal to white working class and Black working class. And I think that's what the Harris campaign is counting on, that Bill Clinton can talk to a certain population that maybe other candidates wouldn't.
Yeah, so Bill Clinton is supposed to speak here around 5:45 today. We're just starting to see people come in and line up. It's only 4 o'clock, so, just seeing people trickle in. But later tonight, we're going to hear from more community members to see how they feel about Bill Clinton being on their home turf. You can see it's also extremely windy here, so I'm going to throw it back to you guys in studio. But for now, reporting live in Milwaukee, Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
She did that very effortlessly,
yes,
the hair toss.
Well done, Meryl.
Yeah, thank you, Meryl. Well, after more than a week of searching, police have a man in custody they suspect shot another man in DeForest. Police booked 33-year-old Micah Riggins of Madison into jail just after 1 this morning. The district attorney's office has charged Riggins with attempted murder and possessing a gun as a convicted felon. Those charges stem from an incident on October 20th. Police claim Riggins shot a man at the Madison campground on County Highway V in DeForest. The victim recovered from the injuries. Riggins will be in court tomorrow.
In Beloit, police are investigating a bank robbery that happened yesterday afternoon on Cranston Road. Police say at around 4:40 in the afternoon, a man allegedly threatened to use force before taking cash and leaving. No one was hurt. Police didn't say how much money was stolen, and they do not have a description of the suspect. Anyone with information about this incident should contact the Greater Beloit Area Crime Stoppers. The number is there on your screen.
More affordable housing is coming to Dane County. Last night, the county board approved its 2025 budget, and that includes $30 million for affordable housing creation and preservation. $2 million in new funding will go toward the Madison Area Community Land Trust, which is for permanent affordable home ownership. According to the county's regional housing strategy, it needs to create nearly 1,800 affordable rental units annually to meet the need of the population for the next 15 years. Supervisors are hoping the increase in funding will help support that effort.
Well, earlier this week on News 3 Now, we took you to the 160-year-old Marty Century Farm land, which is now set to be developed into housing.
But how much housing? Our Maddie Heimsch spoke with city planners to discuss how they're tackling the housing crisis one lot at a time. Maddie?
Yeah, this is the development plan for that Marty Century Farm property. It includes 6 apartment complexes with more than 200 units and a new subdivision lined with more than 150 single-family homes. But what if you cut each lot in half to fit 300 homes, or double the size of each one, only making room for 75? I spoke with the city planning director to find out how these decisions are made when supply isn't meeting demand. She says the first step when planning and developing is gathering community input.
Some of this is about balancing different ideas about what our community can and should look like and how much we should grow and where. So that's a big part of what the planning process is about, is helping us make decisions about whether it should be that really large building or whether it should be something more modest.
Tuttle says following neighbor input, planners look towards zoning regulations, nearby transportation and infrastructure, and the types of housing in highest demand. Now, the planning division found that in order for Madison to reach a healthy vacancy level by 2035, the city would have to average 2,300 new units every year.
Maddie, thank you. Still to come on Live at 4, we'll tell you what the latest data about inflation says about the state of the economy.
Plus, Vice President Kamala Harris responds to a comment from former President Donald Trump about protecting women. What she said when we come back.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde owns a $3 billion California bank. That's right, he owns it.
And a $7 million mansion on the beach.
Eric Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax breaks for rich guys just like him.
And to pay for it, Hovde would cut Social Security by 28%.
Slash Medicare 25%.
And veterans benefits 40%.
Outrageous. Now we know what's wrong with Eric Hovde. This guy is not for us.
It is a beautiful day on the Wisconsin Capitol Square. I'm joined with Martin Hernandez with AARP Wisconsin, and we are talking about the upcoming election because in a recent poll, over 90% of people polled 50 years and older are extremely motivated to vote in this election. Why is that?
They are. They're extremely motivated because they know what's at stake. So that's things like Social Security. That's important not just for their generation, but for generations to come. And so when we talk to our members all across the state, that's one of the first things that they mention to us is protecting Social Security for everybody.
Now, AARP is a nonpartisan organization, but there's 3 or 4 big topics that are very important to voters.
Exactly. So we don't work on any specific candidate. What we do is we work on issues. The top issues that we're looking at this year are Medicare expansion. If we are able to get that passed, that's millions of dollars coming back to Wisconsin. Supporting family caregivers. Right now, there are millions of people across the state giving their time and money to care for family and loved ones. We need to do more to support them. And then the last one is broadband expansion. We know that's going to require the federal, state, and local governments all working together. And so we're really trying to make sure that we can roll that out as smoothly as possible.
And of course, it's important for people to know how to vote, when to vote, where to vote.
So we know there's all sorts of conversation happening around where, when, and how someone can vote. ARP wants to make sure that everyone makes a plan to vote. And so we have a one-stop shop on our voter guide. It has all the necessary links there so that anyone can make a plan to vote, and they can find that at arp.org/WIVotes. So we encourage everyone to check out that website to make their plan to vote. Again, that's arp.org/WIVotes.
There you go. Get your voice heard on or before November 5th. For Martin, I'm Emmy, and you are buzzed into Madison.
I, Kamala J.D. Harris, do solemnly swear.
Kamala swore an oath, but Kamala created crisis after crisis. Our troops murdered, an open border, crime in our streets, skyrocketing costs, assassination attempts, Americans abandoned during disasters, and we're on the brink of World War III. A broken oath and a broken America. Kamala can't be trusted in the Oval Office. Vote for President Trump and save America. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Welcome back. The U.S. economy grew 2.8% last quarter, boosted by strong consumer spending.
That's slightly down from the 3% posted the previous quarter, but slightly higher than economists had predicted. And the latest data on inflation shows it cooled even more last month. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index showed prices rose 2.1% for the year ending last month. That's down from 2.3% in August. While some economists are calling this a soft landing, the White House is skeptical of using that term.
If you think about an airplane trip with a soft landing or landing, everybody disembarks, they get off the plane, they go about their business, flight's over, you don't necessarily even remember it. That's not how economies work. They never land, you never stop dealing with them, you never get off the plane and leave the airport, and that's it for the economy. From our perspective, we always have more work to do.
And even though Americans' compensation growth is slowing down, it continues to outpace inflation.
And for the third week in a row, jobless claims are down. The number of people applying for first-time unemployment benefits dropped by 12,000. That beat economists' expectations. The number of people continuing to receive unemployment benefits also dropped by 26,000, despite predictions from economists that continuing claims would rise. This has been a big week for economic data, and there's more to come. Tomorrow, we're expecting the October jobs report.
And tomorrow, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump will both be in Milwaukee. It's the second time this week both candidates will be in Wisconsin on the same day. Yesterday, the VP held a rally in Madison, and Trump was up in Green Bay. While there, the former president made a comment about members of his campaign staff trying to stop him from saying he was going to protect women. Here's that clip and Harris's response before leaving Wisconsin this morning.
They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say, pay these guys a lot of money. Can you believe it? I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them.
It actually is, I think, very offensive to women in terms of not understanding their agency, their authority. And this is just the latest on a series of reveals by the former president of how he thinks about women.
Tomorrow, musical artists, including Cardi B, will join Harris at her Milwaukee rally between 6 and 10 at night. Trump's rally will be at the Pfizer Forum from 7 to 10.
Police say they think the man suspected of lighting ballot boxes on fire will try to strike again. This month, someone set fires at 3 ballot drop boxes in Portland, Oregon, and nearby Vancouver, Washington, damaging hundreds of ballots. Investigators describe the suspect as a white man, 30 to 40 years old, and they do have surveillance video of his car. They believe the suspect is an experienced metal worker and may be planning additional attacks. Election officials say most voters whose ballots were damaged in those fires have requested new ballots, and more replacements are going out today.
U.S. officials are heading to the Middle East this week. They're trying to convince Israel to commit to ceasefires with Hezbollah and Hamas after the country's military leaders signaled it cannot achieve more, militarily speaking, in Lebanon and Gaza. But multiple sources familiar with the matter say they think Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, is waiting to see who will be the next president. U.S. officials are also seeking to deter an Iranian counterstrike, which could come before the election.
Well, it's a big night for all the ghosts and goblins out there. We hope everybody has a fun, safe night and a warm one. But trick-or-treating can actually be difficult for kids who have allergies.
Now, some children can have severe reactions to candy. Dr. Jessica Hui with the National Jewish Health says to avoid a reaction in trick-or-treaters who have food allergies, parents should consider packing an allergy-friendly treat, just in case the child can't eat the ones that they get.
Many parents are calling it the switch witch or the good witch, who comes and leaves a gift in exchange for the child's candy. So it's this nice trade system that can happen after trick-or-treating.
The allergist also says parents should also remember to bring their child's rescue medications at all times, especially while they're out trick-or-treating.
A good thing to remember so that everybody can have some fun. But you're going to need to bundle up and hunker down tonight. Wow, it's chilly for the trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, and windy. Look at our Dodgeville Skycam. This This tells the entire scene here. Look at how it is shaking back and forth. Even the flag down here in the foreground moving in a direction from west to east because we have a strong west wind out there across much of southern Wisconsin. Now here at the airport, the west wind at 9, the gusts are significantly higher than that. Was just out on the patio holding on myself. It is very windy out there, and bundle up. We said you'd need to do that tonight, but at least we're not expecting rainfall to impact our Halloween festivities. Temperatures falling down to around 40 by the time we get to 10 o'clock, and the winds will hang on all night tonight. We'll actually track now those winds here coming in, gusting at times upwards of 40 to 45 miles an hour at 6 o'clock. That continues through the overnight hours. But then, it eases up by the time we get to Friday morning, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. We'll eventually see those winds turn to calm, and it'll be quite a nice day across southern Wisconsin with highs up near 50 degrees. Now, you'd think with all the rain that we had last night that I would be showing the drought monitor, and you'd think, where's the improvement, Alex? We've actually had an expansion of moderate drought conditions and severe drought conditions across southern Wisconsin. But with the plentiful rains that we saw last night, in addition to more rain that's expected across southern Wisconsin, Saturday night, I guarantee you it's going to be unsettled. Sunday going on into Monday, perhaps even into the first part of election day Tuesday, that we're going to add more water. How much? Anywhere between 1, we could be looking at some localized 2, 3-inch amounts of rain across southern Wisconsin. And this will be a widespread rain across all of southern Wisconsin, not just targeting certain areas like the last rain that we had 24 hours ago. Our friends even in Janesville on social media reporting to me only a trace of rain today just south of Janesville near Beloit, and you have a good chance as we head out into the extended here Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then staying fall-like after that wet weather system. Well, Jane, thank you from Belmont showing us that you got about 5 inches of rain last night. Perry from DeForest, just north of Madison, showing nearly 4 inches of rain. So thanks, Perry, for that picture. Anita in Lone Rock showing us about 2 3/4 of an inch of rain to the west out towards Richland County. Just scan that QR code and you can send us your weather photos. But at least it wasn't this. Minneapolis, a friend of ours, Jenny sends us snow. They had snow in Minneapolis and they're having it right now. So at least we don't have that to deal with this Halloween in southern Wisconsin.
And at least we don't have the rain tonight for the trick-or-treaters too.
Correct.
Just the wind. That's good. All right, Alex, thank you. Well, cannabis is the most widely used substance worldwide for medicinal and recreational purposes.
The push for legalization has increased its availability in some states.
And after decades of research, the largest study on the relationship between marijuana use and brain structure has been published, and Dr. Zorba Pastor is here with more. Hi, Zorba. This is very
good to be
interesting.
here.
What did this show?
Well, first of all, a lot of people think of cannabis as, well, it's cannabis. It may not cause any issues. But this particular study shows it might actually cause some problems. So the study is a long-term study, started roughly 10 years ago, 16,000 people in the United Kingdom. People on the general age was about 55 to 60, so these are older people. And by the way, cannabis, now that it's legal in many states, is used by older people who often used it when they were younger and used it with impunity and say there's nothing wrong with the gummy at night, there's nothing wrong taking this and that. And they discovered there's a difference in structure in MRI scans of the brain for people who use cannabis on a more regular basis. Now, We're not exactly sure what this means. But the fact is, the fact that they even notice something going on in brain activity, I think means we've got to treat cannabis with respect, just like we do alcohol. I mean, you don't go home and drink 4 to 6 drinks at night and know that's healthy for you. And if you go home and using a gummy every night or you're toking every night, it may not be healthy. And so that's really, I think, the issue with this particular observational study and what it shows.
I was trying to read kind of a summation of this study, and I was a little confused about it. So, like, long-term, can it change the brain, or is it more in the short term?
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
That's why we're not sure. We noticed it at 2 different things. Now, the other issue has to do with something called Delta 9. Now, Delta 9 is under the hemp law that was passed in Wisconsin, is an inebriant, and you can buy it at your local grocery store in the soda department. Now, what about teenagers who have developing brains who then buy Delta 9? You don't need a license. You can buy it even if you don't have cigarettes in the grocery department, and their prefrontal cortex is not fully developed, and that's another cannabinoid. And what is that actually doing to their brain? I think that is a great big issue that we have yet to look at. That's really important.
And we don't know if the changes in your brain are positive or negative.
We don't know, but we do know that the white matter in this particular study is decreased in the brain more in men than in women, and we know more in an area called the corpus callosum, which is the interface between the left brain and the right brain, so making connections. And we know white matter is very important for higher functions. So once again, over time, it may turn out that there's an increase in memory loss. We don't know that because really, until recently, it's not become so widely available. There's probably at least 10 to 20 times more cannabis use today than there was 5 years ago and 10 years ago, because it's available in many, many different states. And so we've got to treat cannabis, we've got to treat it with respect.
Very good, very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Pleasure to be
Thanks,
here.
Robert. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And we will be right back.
I'm working harder than ever just to pay the bills and provide for my family. But here's what Kamala Harris thought my money should go to instead. Job training for illegal immigrants even after they commit crimes in America. Hotel rooms for illegal immigrants while our vets sleep on the street. Sex changes for illegal immigrants out of my pocket. Seriously, have these people lost their mind? Kamala Harris can never, ever be our president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is Senator Tammy Baldwin. This is her life partner, Maria Brisbane, a Wall Street exec who makes millions advising the super rich how to make money off industries Tammy regulates. Tammy doesn't get home to Wisconsin most weekends. She'd rather be in New York at Maria's $7 million condo. That's why New Yorkers have given Tammy over $1.3 million. Tammy Baldwin's not Wisconsin's senator anymore. She's the 3rd senator from New York.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
We know what Joan Ballwig wants to do. Ban abortion and birth control. That's it. That's her plan. Sarah Kieski is focused on bringing costs down, and she has real plans to lower the cost of healthcare and housing, prescription drugs, and to cut your taxes. So if you want a candidate focused on banning abortion and birth control, that's Joan Ballwig. For everyone else, there's Sarah Kieski. She's running for state senate to finally bring costs down.
Growing up here in southeast Wisconsin, hard work and getting things done are in Brian Stiles' DNA. It's why Stile is recognized as a problem solver in Congress. He's fighting for Wisconsin families every day, combating high prices at the grocery store and gas pump. And Brian Stile is protecting Social Security and Medicare because you've earned it. Brian Stile, getting it done for southeast Wisconsin. Fair Shake is responsible for the content of this ad.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She was the deciding vote for his disastrous economic agenda. They raised taxes on the middle class, and prices soared. Kamala was in charge of his open border policies, giving welfare to illegals while Americans struggle, and their weakness invited wars. Now Kamala wants to double down on failure. It's time to turn the page on Joe and Kamala's failed agenda. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower and the border secure. Now, President Trump can do it again.
And we are going to launch a new golden age of American success for the citizens
of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Remember, Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
So let's get one thing straight. When Donald Trump talks about cutting Social Security and Medicare, it's like spitting in the face of America's seniors. We paid into these programs for our entire careers, and he would just cut them? Why? He wants to give another tax cut to the super rich, which they don't need. I know that Kamala Harris will protect our Social Security because she understands why it's so important for so many of us.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this.
The dead flowers here are a nice touch, aren't they?
Can we call Lisa Briggs? I think we need some help.
We need some help. Well, it may be Halloween, but it's also Thursday, and that means we're already working for the weekend in the 608.
Indeed. Josh Spreiter is in the studio with your weekend planner.
We are already talking about the first weekend of November. I'm looking into the final Halloween events, but also the start of the holiday season. Here are 3 things for you to do with your family this weekend in the 608. First up tonight, Haunted Monroe Street is gearing up for a spooky night in Stoughton. You'll find many homes along the stretch decked out for Halloween. This is the 8th year they've been putting this on, and new this year, Stoughton police are closing down the street from 5 to 9 tonight, so the neighborhood can be open safely for families. One of the homes even has a haunted house built around it by an 8th grader. Earlier this week, he gave us a tour of the free Terror on Monroe event. It's something he says he loves to do with his friends. Also happening this weekend is the Midwest Vintage Flea. This is their fall 2024 event. It's Saturday from 11 to 6 and Sunday from 10 to 4. General admission is free. Since 2016, the Midwest Vintage Flea has been known as Wisconsin's largest and premier vintage fashion trade show. And finally, if you're already excited to get into the holiday spirit like me, this one is for you. I'm talking about the 2024 Sauk Prairie Holiday Event. You can get an early start to the holiday shopping season on Saturday at Sauk Prairie Community Center. This is a great one-stop shop while supporting small businesses. It is open from 9 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. Remember, you can always find happenings in the 608 on channel3000.com. In the 608, I'm Josh Spreiter, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Josh. Next on Live at 4, following up on the THC-contaminated pizza that unknowing consumers ate.
An exclusive interview with a man who said he gave his grandkids the contaminated food. That's when we're back.
The other side is lying to scare you. Truth is, Joan Ballweg is a champion for women's health care. She fought hard to expand healthcare access for postpartum moms and supports access for IVF and birth control. We're voting for Joan Ballweg because she votes for women like us.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no? There has to be some form of punishment. For the woman? Yeah.
And the punishment is real. Women denied care, unable to get pregnant again, traumatized, scarred for life. Young women who didn't need to die. Now 1 in 3 women live under a Trump abortion ban. And if he's elected, everyone will.
There has to be some form of punishment.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
I'm a steel worker. I grew up right here on a little family farm. Trump was here campaigning with Elon Musk. Now there's a prime example of who he keeps close. Donald Trump cares about his billionaire friends. He's just going to turn around and give them more tax breaks. But Kamala Harris is fighting for the working class. She'll make billionaires pay their fair share. That way working people get a fair shot. Elon Musk is voting for his money, and I'm voting for mine. And I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad. We know what Joan Ballweg wants to do. Ban abortion and birth control. That's it. That's her plan. Sarah Kieski is focused on bringing costs down, and she has real plans to lower the cost of healthcare and housing, prescription drugs, and to cut your taxes. So if you want a candidate focused on banning abortion and birth control, that's Joan Ballweg. For everyone else, there's Sarah Kieski. She's running for state senate to finally bring costs down.
Rebecca Cook believes our parents and grandparents should be able to age with dignity.
In Congress, she'll vote to strengthen Social Security and Medicare by repealing the tax on benefits, lowering the eligibility age for Medicare, and allowing Medicare to negotiate lower drug costs so our seniors get the prescription drugs they need at prices they can afford. Rebecca Cook, a homegrown Wisconsinite who fights for what's right. Project 218 is responsible for the content of this ad.
The problem with Todd Novak? He voted with his extreme party leaders 100% of the time, like voting against lower prescription prices. And Todd Novak authored the law to ban abortion in Wisconsin, with no exceptions for rape and incest. Todd Novak is with the extremists 100%, and he's hurting Wisconsin. Elizabeth Grabe will defend abortion rights, get more police funding, and bring down costs. Elizabeth Grabe for Assembly.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Well, just in time for Halloween, we got rid of all that summer-like weather, and it's feeling like fall out there. Look at that.
Just a tad.
Yeah, just a tad. That pumpkin's hanging on for dear life right now.
Yeah. So is everything and everyone, including Alex. How's it going out there?
You just missed some great TV. We had one wind gust, whipped a whole bunch of leaves right up in my face. It might happen again here as I do the weather. It is very windy. We said it'd be windy tonight. At least it's not raining. The rain is done, but trick-or-treaters, get ready for a wild night of wind. Temperatures all the way down to 48 in Madison, so chilly too. You're going to need a jacket or something to stay warm depending on your costume. Now, the winds will eventually ease up as we go later into tonight, but the temperatures will cool on down to where we should be. So yes, a spell of fall-like weather. It is often windy in the fall, and temperatures are going to be back to reality as we carry forth into Friday morning. Tomorrow, waking up to temperatures in the low 30s, and overnight and temperatures tomorrow for Friday, all we're going to do is near 50. That's normal, though. Remember, that's normal for this time of year. But at least the winds will eventually be relaxing as we go further into Friday. How about I take you into more fall-like weather Saturday and Sunday? A little on the mild side for this time of year, but we got some fall-like rain that's going to enter the picture on Sunday, and plenty of rain in the forecast. Again, nothing out here right now, but Radar 3000 is going to light up again later this weekend with showers and thunderstorms. We're going to track this series of wet weather systems coming up in just a little bit. And again, I'm going to blow my way back into the studio here.
All right, the trick-or-treaters are on their way,
Yes.
so pave the way for them.
I will.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Now to a News 3 Now exclusive. A resident in Stoughton is outraged after his grandkids ate THC-laced pizza.
And the man said he found out about the contamination after watching News 3 Now. Tanisha Shaw has the latest on the investigation.
I kept reheating this and serving it to my grandkids, not knowing it was poisoned with THC.
Frank Quattromani's grandkids visited him last week from Florida. Their trip went sour when all three of the kids fell off after eating Famous Yeti's pizza. The youngest, just 2 years old.
Pretty much immediately, grandson, 8 years old, thought the house was floating and he was dizzy. The middle was 6 years old, Julia. She vomited several times, stomach aches, was feeling dizzy as well. And the youngest just kind of went to sleep, had some really bad diarrhea.
The family learned about the contamination with Delta-9, better known as THC, after watching TV. This morning, Quattromani attempted to press charges with Stoughton police to hold Famous Yeti's pizza accountable.
And they just made no effort to get a hold of people. I'd like to know why the Department of Health didn't make them look at call logs and call people.
Famous Yeti released a statement saying they asked for forgiveness, admitted they made a mistake, and said, quote, "We have been communicating with some folks who have been affected." I did reach out to the owner of Famous Yetis via email, and I stopped by in store, but I have not received a response yet. Reporting in Stoughton, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Tanasia. Dane County Public Health reported more than 60 people eating the laced food from Famous Yetis, and more than 25 went to the hospital.
On Wall Street, feeling the downside of high expectations today, the S&P 500 had its worst day in 8 weeks, down 1.9%. The Dow and the NASDAQ were also down, and the S&P 500 as well. Wisconsin is continuing to live up to its title as a battleground state.
We've been busy. Both former President Trump and Vice President Harris will hold rallies in Milwaukee tomorrow. The second trip to the state this week for both candidates. Ellie LaLiberte joins us now to consider if visits so close to Election Day will have any effect at all. Ellie?
Yeah, Brady, Susan, well, this map is a testament to the energy that both campaigns have poured into Wisconsin. The red represents former President Donald Trump's 7 visits to the state, and the blue here represents Vice President Harris's 8 visits. Tomorrow, they'll each tack on some more and will likely be closing arguments to Wisconsin voters. I spoke with a UW journalism associate professor who says visits like these so close to Election Day are a historical norm. It's a campaign strategy to make voters feel valued and highlight their final message.
Perhaps it's not just about getting out the vote, but it tells us something more broadly about what these campaigns represent and what they are trying to sell in a certain sense to their voters 6, 5, 4 days out from the election.
Tomorrow evening, Donald Trump will speak at Pfizer Forum. Harris will also be in Milwaukee tomorrow, but the location has not yet been announced. And tonight at 6, I head downtown to see if voters are feeling energized or tired of all the political attention.
We will see you at 6. Ellie, thank you. This Election Day, you can find out quicker about any changes that might happen and that might affect how or when you cast your vote.
Armand Rahman has more on Dane County's text message campaign.
Normally, the advice for political or voting-related texts during campaign season have been to ignore it and go to an official source. But in the next few days, if you get one that starts with, "This is the Dane County Clerk's Office," that is your legit resource.
Dane County's election awareness text message campaign launched the Wednesday before November 5th. They're the first municipality or agency in the state of Wisconsin to try something like this. Clerk Scott McDonald says they want it to be a quick tool to warn or update voters directly if anything comes up on Election Day.
So, for example, if we have to move a polling place, instead of just relying on a press conference, we can actually directly contact all the voters in that ward and say, it's been moved for whatever reason, or maybe the hours have been extended.
He also hopes it can help counter disinformation that pops up via text or social media. There are no links in the messages right now, but they might be added in the future. The county gets your number if you entered it while registering. You can opt out.
If you haven't yet received a message from the clerk's office, just text VOTE to the number 28948 to receive future election updates. Reporting in Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. When we come back, is it a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? You have another chance to answer that decades-long question.
Controversy. You know this movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and some other Halloween streaming favorites in the Loper Report.
We know what Joan Ballwig wants to do. Ban abortion and birth control. That's it. That's her plan. Sarah Kieski is focused on bringing costs down, and she has real plans to lower the cost of healthcare and housing, prescription drugs, and to cut your taxes. So if you want a candidate focused on banning abortion and birth control, that's Joan Ballwig. For everyone else, there's Sarah Kieski. She's running for state senate to finally bring costs down.
Donald Trump has always wanted unchecked power.
I have the right to do whatever I want as president.
And with Project 2025, he'll get it. No guardrails. This time, he will eliminate protections for pre-existing conditions, and he'll cut Social Security and Medicare to give more tax cuts to billionaires. Donald Trump is more unhinged and unstable than ever. If we give him total power, he'll put everything at risk.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Brian Stiles says he's proud of his extreme record. Extremists want to gut Social Security and Medicare, cut benefits for seniors, and raise the retirement age. Stiles proud to join them. And they push to ban abortion in Wisconsin, restrict birth control, and monitor pregnancies to prosecute women. Brian Stiles proud to be backed by them. Peter Barca is proud to put Wisconsin over party.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Meet Sarah Kieski. You might see her walking around in her Woke Genius t-shirt. Radical, just like the groups that support her. Kieski supporters want to defund the police. Her allies want to give voting rights to illegals and make it easier for felons to vote. And Kieski is backed by a group that wants to let criminals out early. Want to know where Sarah Kieski stands? Just look at the company she keeps.
National Democrats have been a disaster. Higher prices, open borders, making our communities less safe. They can't run on their record, so they try to distract you by lying about abortion.
Here's the truth. I oppose a national abortion ban. Early in a pregnancy, women should have the right to decide. We should allow for exceptions. And finally, the people of Wisconsin need to decide this issue, not politicians in Washington.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
California banker Eric Hovde has a plan that helps him and hurts you.
Here's the math. Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax cuts for rich people like him.
And we pay for Hovde's tax breaks with a 28% cut to Social Security and a 25% cut to Medicare.
Hovde even said he would raise the retirement age.
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Eric Hovde, still helping himself and hurting you.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
New at 5, if you receive a text from the county clerk's office, it is legit, and it's here to keep you informed. Find out how this new tool can help make your voting experience easier.
Widespread heavy rains verified across much of southern Wisconsin, but not everybody saw it. There's more in the forecast, and who gets it, I'll tell you at 5.
And ahead at 6.
They poisoned my grandkids.
We continue to investigate why a local pizzeria was serving THC-contaminated food. What went wrong, and could it have been prevented? The story at 6.
Well, it is a real treat for kids and adults of all ages. The classic It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, is now streaming.
But if you need something with a few more Halloween tricks, Will Loper has some other suggestions in the Loper Report.
All you have to do is walk up to a house, ring the doorbell, and say tricks or treats. Are you sure it's legal?
Stream a Halloween special that the whole family can enjoy with It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, streaming on Apple TV+.
It's the Great Pumpkin! They could have been out for tricks or treats!
Linus forgoes the trick-or-treating to sit in a pumpkin patch and wait for a mythical Great Pumpkin.
Oh, Great Pumpkin, where are you?
Oh, good evening, Night Owls, and thank you for allowing me into your living rooms once again.
For something a little scarier, check out the 2024 horror film Late Night with the Devil, streaming on AMC+.
You're meddling with things you don't understand. Whoa! Now, as you know, here on Night Owls, we think it's very important to keep an open mind.
David Desmalchian plays a late-night TV host who begins to have scary stuff happen during a 1977 live Halloween broadcast.
Please be warned, anyone with young children in the room.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween.
And bridge the gap between Halloween and the holidays to come with The Nightmare Before Christmas, streaming on Disney+.
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair. What's this?
Jack Skellington, Pumpkin King of Halloween Town, discovers a door to Christmas and brings his Halloween flavor to the festivities. For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
You rented that all the time?
Mm-hmm. That, Batman Returns, and The Addams Family. I was a weird kid.
Is it a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
I think about it during Halloween, but I think it can be both. So
I like The Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
One of my favorites. Well, still ahead on Live at 4, we'll check back in with Alex for the latest trick-or-treating forecast.
And we have a few visitors of our own. That's when we're back.
During COVID, Joan Balwig took $500,000 in federal loans she never paid back. Then voted to block assistance to help other Wisconsin businesses grow. Joan Balwig, out for herself, not you.
You have a clear choice in this election.
Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
We count on gasoline to power our cars, our tractors, our way of life. So why is a city slicker from Miami, Elizabeth Groppe, okay banning gas-powered vehicles? Extremists like Groppe want to eliminate fossil fuels, robbing hard-working families, farmers, and small businesses of their vehicles. Miami Liz's radical ideas hurt our families and our main streets. Don't let Groppe get away with it. Born and raised right here. Todd Novak is our independent voice for common sense, protecting our way of life.
Rebecca Cook believes our parents and grandparents should be able to age with dignity. In Congress, she'll vote to strengthen Social Security and Medicare by repealing the tax on benefits, lowering the eligibility age for Medicare, and allowing Medicare to negotiate lower drug costs so our seniors get the prescription drugs they need at prices they can afford. Rebecca Cook, a homegrown Wisconsinite who fights for what's right. Project 218 is responsible for the content of this ad.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion, yes or no?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah.
And the punishment is real. Women denied care, unable to get pregnant again, traumatized, scarred for life. Young women who didn't need to die. Now 1 in 3 women live under a Trump abortion ban. And if he's elected, everyone will.
There has to be some form of punishment.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
I think we're probably spending too much, throwing too much money on our southern border.
Last month, fentanyl killed my childhood friend. Drugs and criminals are pouring into our communities because Tammy Baldwin voted to open our border and defund our police. I moved here from New York to protect my family, but Tammy's bringing her New York values to Wisconsin. Tammy Baldwin is dangerous.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
So let's get one thing straight. When Donald Trump talks about cutting Social Security and Medicare, it's like spitting in the face of America's seniors. We paid into these programs for our entire careers, and he would just cut them? Why? He wants to give another tax cut to the super rich, which they don't need. I know that Kamala Harris will protect our Social Security because she understands why it's so important for so many of us.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
This is China, and this is Wisconsin. Joan Ballweg invested thousands of dollars in Chinese companies, but voted against using state funds to help grow companies here in Wisconsin. Joan Ballweg, out for herself, not you.
Hey there, folks. Let's do that trick-or-treat forecast here. As we look through the rest of our evening here, temperatures will be falling down to near 40 degrees by the time we get to 10 o'clock and staying very, very windy across the area, at least through this evening. Eventually, conditions will improve across the rest of the area. Low temperatures waking up to Friday morning, feeling fall-like in the low 30s. A little patchy frost out there, but we've already had a hard freeze across much of southern Wisconsin, so frost is what you would expect, right? And fall, and you would expect temperatures in the upper 40s straight around 50, not the low 80s that we've been used to across southern Wisconsin. More rain is in the forecast. If you missed out on rainfall, I'll show some of those totals in just a moment. We've got plenty more rain in the forecast. A wet weather system is going to start Saturday night, lasting clear through Tuesday. Let's track it. Showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm on Sunday. Look how widespread the green is across all of southern Wisconsin. Eventually, as we go into Monday, the winds turn from the south. A warm front lifts through. Showers and a couple of thunderstorms on and off throughout the day on Monday. As you notice, periods of rain and occasional thunderstorms as well. The cold front looks like it's going to come through with the winds turning out of the west and southwest as we head towards Tuesday morning, which would be a optimal time to not have severe weather, which we don't need any severe weather. Of course, Tuesday is a very important day. It'll be windy with decreasing clouds as it looks like now as that weather system moves off towards the east. Bottom line with this wet weather system, it will be early end of the weekend going on into early next week. 1 to 3 inches of rain is possible. At 5, I'll show you where some of those heavier amounts will line up, so tune in for that. And the rain ends Election Day Tuesday, especially as we go into the afternoon hours. Following that wet weather system, temperatures stay seasonable for this time of year, where they should be for this time of year. Now, some of those rainfall amounts that we saw last night ranging from 1, 2, 3, even 4 inches of rain. But Beloit, just a trace. But guess what, Beloit? You've got more rain in the forecast.
Shop the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. Lease a new Silverado 1500 starting at $355 a month, or a 24 Equinox EV starting at $299 a month. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromMadison.com.
I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear.
Kamala swore an oath, but Kamala created crisis after crisis. Our troops murdered, an open border, crime in our streets, skyrocketing costs, assassination attempts, Americans abandoned during disasters, and we're on the brink of World War III. A broken oath and a broken America. Kamala can't be trusted in the Oval Office. Vote for President Trump and save America. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm running for the Senate because I love our country, but sometimes I don't recognize it anymore. What is right has become wrong, and what is wrong has become right. Politicians like Tammy Baldwin have led us down the wrong path. It doesn't have to be this way. We can lower the cost of food and medicine, close our border, and stop the flow of deadly drugs. Let's work together to restore the American dream and give our children a brighter future. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote.
I'm a steel worker. I grew up right here on a little family farm. Trump was here campaigning with Elon Musk. Now there's a prime example of who he keeps close. Donald Trump cares about his billionaire friends. He's just going to turn around and give them more tax breaks. But Kamala Harris is fighting for the working class. She'll make billionaires pay their fair share. That way working people get a fair shot. Elon Musk is voting for his money, and I'm voting for mine. And I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad. The problem with Todd Novak? He voted with his extreme party leaders 100% of the time, like voting against lower prescription prices. And Todd Novak authored the law to ban abortion in Wisconsin, with no exceptions for rape and incest. Todd Novak is with the extremists 100%, and he's hurting Wisconsin. Elizabeth Grabe will defend abortion rights, get more police funding, and bring down costs. Elizabeth Grabe for Assembly.
Donald Trump has always wanted unchecked power.
I have the right to do whatever I want as president.
And with Project 2025, he'll get it. No guardrails. This time, he will eliminate protections for pre-existing conditions, and he'll cut Social Security and Medicare to give more tax cuts to billionaires. Donald Trump is more unhinged and unstable than ever. If we give him total power, he'll put everything at risk.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Oh, we clean up nicely, don't we?
Happy Halloween, everybody! I have to hang onto my hat with both hands.
Yeah.
Okay, Brady, there's somebody at the door.
Oh, come on in. Who do we have? Oh, hello.
Come on in. Hi, Olive.
What's your name and who are you?
My name is Olive and I'm Andrew Choi from Amphibia.
Oh, very nice.
Good. Olive is
Here's
Chris
some candy.
Hawmaker's daughter. He's one of our photographers. There you go, honey. Good job. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. All right.
Okay.
Oh, another
Ring the
visitor.
doorbell.
Oh, hello. What's your name?
Hi, who's this? What's your name? Hi, Parker.
What's your costume? Rawr. That's a scary dinosaur rawr.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. If anyone finds that hat, return it to
It
Susan.
might be in the next county.
Oh, look at this. Now, we need to know about your costume.
Yeah, that'd be a corn dog.
Corn dog because?
Actually, I love corn dogs. It's a nickname kind of given to me around the office.
Because your name is Corey.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is Corey. He works at Channel 3000. He's one of our digital editors.
What are you picking?
We're going to go with the Kit Kat.
He's the tallest kid in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Corey.
All right,
Who's
up
here?
next. Hello.
Hi, buddies. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
What are your costumes?
Hey, who are you? Lonnie, you look so good.
And Big Bird Harmony.
This is Kyrion Lee, our morning anchor.
And you're the Lakers' biggest fan.
Exactly. No, my husband definitely is, but you know, hey, had to be something, right?
Thanks for coming, you guys. Happy Halloween. Halloween. Stay warm, girls. Oh,
Who is next? Oh, hello.
hi, buddy.
What's your name? You're so excited about Halloween?
This is Hayden. This is Jason, our assignment manager. Hi, Jason. And you brought DJ?
Hello.
DJ, that's an awesome costume.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
All right, what looks good here?
I know, choices. It's tough. Okay, hurry up. Hurry up.
All right, there you go.
I know, Hayden, I don't blame you. It's so hard. You want them all. Happy Halloween, guys. Jason, thank you.
All right.
Oh, look who's here.
Someone's wearing a Leah Lynchide costume. You look familiar. Hi.
Look at you. Hello, you guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello, little buddy.
Now, this is your new one. This is Eli.
This is Eli, and Zeke is over here. We did the Badger theme. We've got 2 football players, Zeke and Vasca. Zach is the ref.
Because you have to keep everyone in line.
I'm the cheerleader, and Eli's the football.
Nice. Perfect.
Do you want some candy?
And Bascom is here, too.
Say hi, Bas.
Oh, thank you for coming, you guys. Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
Are you just on your way to trick or treat now?
Yes, we are.
Welcome home. It's so good to see you.
We miss you.
Come here.
Hi. Come back every day.
Have fun, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Is that it?
Is that it? We're all done? Okay.
We forgot to talk to Kevin here. Kevin is one of our former engineers.
Yes.
This is what is this that you're playing on the music?
I'm playing the theremin. It's an instrument that you play without actually touching it, and it makes the spooky sounds that you're hearing right now.
Perfect. Thank you for coming on with us.
Good to see you, Kevin.
All
Good
right.
to see you.
All right, well, warm up the blooper reel, everybody.
We'll be right back.
I'm Joan Ballwig, and I'm here to set the record straight. I support birth control, the life and health of mothers, extending postpartum care, and fertility treatments, including IVF. I'm Joan Ballwig. I have always fought for Wisconsin moms, and I always will.
We all know what Eric Hovde's trying to do, falsely attacking Tammy Baldwin by questioning her personal life. And Eric Hovde's trying to scare you. The truth is, no sex change surgeries take place on minors in Wisconsin. 0. And Baldwin didn't give funding to a transgender clinic. It's actually a youth homeless shelter. Eric Hovde's a billionaire banker who thinks he can lie about anything. But Wisconsin's better than Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She supported his disastrous economic agenda, higher taxes on the middle class. Kamala backed his open border policies, and their weakness invited wars. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower, and the border secure. But Kamala wants to double down on failure. Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Meet Sarah Kieski. You might see her walking around in her woke genius t-shirt. Radical, just like the groups that support her. Kieski supporters want to defund the police. Her allies want to give voting rights to illegals and make it easier for felons to vote. And Kieski is backed by a group that wants to let criminals out early. Want to know where Sarah Kieski stands? Just look at the company she keeps.
National Democrats have been a disaster. Higher prices, open borders, making our communities less safe.